Merlin, Network Magic, Blender, 3D animated input-output rates. Hey everybody, my name is John Capobianco, and I just want to put this video up because I have, it's not an animation. I'm going to be talking over it and moving the camera around myself, so I haven't quite moved into animating this yet. But it all works, so I'm going to kick off the job and show you what we have happening here in this new tool called Blender. So this is my Blender workspace, and in the top right here is my Python code where I'm loading in 3 files. I'm only using this first file for now. I'm loading in this management counters. Now this JSON, I can show you what it looks like. It's customized through a Jinja 2 template to look like this, where I have the input rate and the rate and the output rate and the rate inside of an array of arrays. So that's the valid Jinja template. Now down here, this is the animation nodes, which you need to install separately. And I've put together all these animation nodes following a guide, which I'd like to show you how to find. And if you just Google Blender JSON, I've been following this visualize real world JSON data in Blender. So it's a 2-part series. I'm going to get ads, I'm sure of it. I would highly recommend that you start here because this is what I've used to create this. And so what we have are 2 cylinders. I'm going to make as much room on the screen as I can. I have 2 cylinders, obviously, that I've smoothed out. Let me zoom all the way out. And actually, if I change to my working view, this is sort of what it looks like naked. So I have a couple of text labels here, a couple text labels here that are coming from the JSON. And then the value of the cylinder, the height, the Z index, it only goes up because I've anchored the bottom of the cylinder so they only grow vertically. I've made a plane around all of this to enclose it, and I've added, these are all different light sources that I think I've made 2500 watts. Now if we turn on the rendering, I've made the input rate blue and the output rate red, and we have the counter information in some different colors. I found this green look nice, and so did this orange to read the actual text. So now let me turn it on, and these numbers should collapse because there's no traffic. And then let me start my Docker container. So inside the Docker container, I have the pyATS job running in a loop of 100. So it's not an infinite loop, but this is just going to run. So this is as fast as I can do it. It's going to run, parse the information, transform the counters, and it just runs 100 times. See how they've collapsed because there's no traffic? Right? So now they're down to 0 and 32. And we can move around the camera and do all kinds of neat things. Now, this is just going to keep running as quickly as this can feed it more data. Now let's affect the data with some pings while that all just runs in the background. So let's go ahead and log in. See, and they've even jumped up just from the act of parsing the data and me logging in here. And let's start the pings. So we're going to ping 10, 10, 20, 254 VRF management. And let's do a packet size of, I don't know, 1,000. And let's do a count of, let's say, 1,000. So now we have our running ping going, and we can explore this world and watch these pipes grow and shrink. And we can, move. Now these are going to jump way off the chart. It's way off the chart. So as these numbers get more and more huge, what I can do is divide them by a bigger number, right? I kept my division low because when there's no traffic, I want them low. But if I divide it by too much, then right, they'll just disappear. So I'm going to have to play with that. And I can just play with that right now here. If I find that division where I divide it here by 500. Is that the one? I believe so. Let's divide it by, yeah. Right, so now they're a little more reasonable. Pretty nifty. And then, if I were to collapse that ping, or if I adjust that ping even more, see the ping has stopped. So let's get the ping going again. And I can even make it bigger pings. Packet size, 10,000, and let's send an extra 1,000 pings. Right, it's pretty neat though. So, my next thing is going to be to maybe add a camera and just move around this while it happens. The other thing I wanted to do was to try to add another interface and just show you how dynamic it is. Now, they're not going to be colored in or anything like that. I'll have to do that. But I believe if I just change this JSON here to have, say, interfaces ETH15 counters, then they will just show up on this chart. So that's going to be my next little step. I'm not going to record me doing that, but hopefully it won't take me very long, and I'll show you what two different interfaces with their own counter sets look like. Pretty neat stuff. All right, stay tuned. All right, that didn't take as long as I thought, and now let's see if we can get dynamically. Let me restart the animation, or the timeline, and let me kick off the Docker. Now let's watch and make sure this doesn't crash with an error. But if it gets into the counter information, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is my new templated data is going to kick in. All right, it's getting there. And we should get two more interfaces appearing. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So now we had dynamically, I've added Ethernet 1515. Now I haven't colored in their cylinders, and you can see them changing. You can see them changing. I have to color, look at it, it's just changing. Now I can change these cylinder colors, that I will do that. But just to show you, I could do every single interface on a 48, whatever, however many interfaces you want. And they will dynamically grow and build all by themselves. A real 3D, look at the lighting, and I've added some metallic background so you can see everything sort of reflects off even the ground. So now, I don't know, like we can let's try, what is it, show IP in brief. Ping 172.16.1.1. I know it's pinging itself, but is that going to affect, I can do count. Let me just do a count and size. Now I don't know, can we get those ETH15 counters to jump? That's still running in the background? Yeah. Well, they're changing and they're going down. But anyway, you get the idea. I would need real traffic. And yeah, so that was really cool. Really cool. All right, well, thanks so much. And there's going to be much more to come. This is pretty exciting stuff. I really like this tool, Blender. And I'm going to make all this open source soon, too. So stay safe, and I hope you're enjoying this.